Welcome and thank you for stopping by. In this video, we are going to discuss Unexpected America, and this is the book, Unexpected America. It's my very first book to get published. It's also book one of Alone in America Duology. This means, although the book is stand alone, there is book two that continues the story. By the way, my name is Wanjiru Warama. If it's not your first time here, and maybe you have watched any of my videos, let me say something about myself. I was born on a British colonial farm in Kenya, where I grew up in the 1950s and 60s. My parents scratched a living on that farm their entire lives. But lucky for me, they took me to school, which was not common for girls in those days. Now I live in California, where I write biographical and historical books that enlighten, entertain, and inspire. Now I would like to take you on a few minutes journey. And at the end, I'm going to give you a promise and also offer you a free book. If you think this interests you, then you can subscribe and join this up and coming channel, and also get notified when I upload the next video. Now, about the book. The book is set in San Diego, California, but I have two chapters that are set in Nairobi, Kenya, and I believe 2 or 3 that are set in the state of Florida. The general theme of the book, actually the main theme of the book, is a clash between two cultures, something I did not expect and I didn't know about when I came. I came in September of 1984. When I arrived in America, my goal was to finish my last year in college. When I arrived, I paid tuition for that year, and I paid full board for the whole year. I planned to finish my degree, travel the country, and then return to Kenya, a college graduate, and reboot my life. But things did not work out that way. By graduation, I was broke. I ran out of money. I could not buy a ticket back home. So lack of money, especially to buy that one-way ticket to Kenya, changed the trajectory of my life. The book covers 6 years, from that September 1984, when I arrived in America, to December of 1990. That's a span of 6 years. When I started writing, I knew very little about writing, besides the papers I used to write in college. I didn't know what kind of a book I could write, or whether I could even write a book at all. So I decided to write stories, whatever story came to mind. When I wrote a story, I read it before a group of aspiring writers like me. I listened to their feedback, and I filed the stories away. After 6 months, I saw a pattern. I noticed I gravitated, or I leaned toward nonfiction, real life stories. Something also became clear, that I did not want to look back. I did not want to write about my experiences on that colonial farm. I wanted to write about my later life experiences. For instance, I wanted to write about my life in America. And actually, all those chapters, I called them chapters, although they were not chapters, they were just stories. All those stories were about my life in America. It's as if writing to them, I was talking to my family. because my family didn't know why I stayed in America. So I went back, like I was actually telling them those stories, telling them the challenges I came across when I came to America, the culture shock, because it devastated me so much that I became physically sick. Because in 1 week, the first week I arrived in Kenya, in America, and mind you, this is the time when we didn't have emails or cell phones. I could only write to them, and I wrote about once every 3 months, if that. So when I arrived the first week, I realized how I took my life for granted before, how I took my family and friends for granted, the food I eat, the little things, my daily routine. I took everything for granted. And the biggest of them all, my language. In all my life up to that stage, I had never gone for a day without speaking Kikuyu, my native language. But here I was, I had to speak in English day in and day out, and not well at that. Because as it happened, I was introduced to a new vocabulary, accent. I was told I had a very heavy accent, not heavy, thick accent. The Americans could not understand me, and I could not understand them. It was even worse when I went outside. Like if I rode on a bus, I knew I needed to sit in front so that when the bus stopped, I just got out. I didn't have to speak to anybody. But sometimes it didn't work out that way. I had to go and sit at the back. If I said something to my seatmate, like let me pass or something, the whole bus heads would turn. What did I do? I zipped my mouth. I never talked outside unless I really, really had to. My life was just on campus. So those are the kind of stories I was talking about. What I'm trying to say is that I have not sugarcoated anything. It's whatever happened to me. The abuse happened. If somebody worked me because it happened, I have put it there. My judgment of the American people, my denial, my anger on myself. I was very angry about the things I should have known. I should have done some research before I came, because I thought, yeah, I was to blame too. But these Americans, I also thought, wow, I don't know. They just didn't know how things are done. So I put everything as raw as I remember it. Now, about what I promised. I promise you, if you read a print book of Unexpected America, or listen to an ebook or an audiobook, you are going to learn something. Actually, you are going to learn some new things that you never knew before. And I promise that in every of my books. Then I also promised a freebie. I've already uploaded Unexpected America audiobook right here on YouTube. And you can listen, you can share it, or you can even download it to your computer. I'll leave the link here at the description. And in a little while, I'm getting book 2 of Alone in America package, and I'll upload it. So make sure you subscribe so that you can be alerted when I upload that. Other than that, thank you for stopping by again, and be safe and take care.